Merry Christmas. You are invited to read in serial form 40 chapters telling the story of the boyhood of the Magi. Each day until Christmas 2019, 2 new chapters will be posted for your enjoyment. They may also be found by searching YouTube under hashtag Saint G Prayer. From now until Christmas 2019, you will find posted here an ancient story. Each day, 2 to 3 chapters will appear that may bless you with joy. Merry Christmas. Zoomi, the boyhood of the Magi. In the twilight of the ancient world, in the middle lands of Mesopotamia, lived the Merns. We know nothing of them now. Their race has died out, or they moved to another world. Yet they served a purpose, yes, a very great purpose. In those fragrant days, the Merns of Chaldea were watchers of the sky, and this to purpose. There was to come a king, a very great king. This had been known from the creation of the world. The year was now 5233 from creation, or 210 years from the great flood of Noah. Nestled between the great rivers Tigris and Euphrates was the village of Shalil. There lived Mers with his grandsons Zoomi and Shaki. Mers was of the sect of the Magi, watchers for the great king. They are known even now in these modern times, far after. Merns lived to long age, Mers indeterminable, and Zoomi just a boy. Shaki was in the mystery of teen years. There was at that time a crisis in Shalil. One of the Magi has died. Though they lived to great age, their lives too came to an end. The afterlife was not clear to them, but surely they would be immersed in another world. They called it not death, but immersion. Chedorlaomer, a very great age, immersed in this year. Thus it was necessary that another magus be chosen, and to begin the task to watch the stars. The stars sparkled merrily in their thousands, but there was to be a special star, a star of overjoyous meaning, a star of wonder. The star was to rise out of Jacob, which is Israel. How would the Magi choose another to be among them? It was to be by trial, a trial which would determine who among the Merns would be chosen to come among the Magi. There were in antiquity near mythical methods to establish successors to a throne or other high office. The Arthurian ledger had the young Arthur, an orphan, stumble upon the bumbling Merlin, a wizard of some repute. When King Uther Pendragon died, the country fell into despair. In the midst of turmoil among the rival dukes and lords, the nobles called upon Merlin to find a solution. Merlin created a large stone on top of which sat an anvil in a churchyard in Mesopotamia, a region of London. Stuck in the anvil was a sword bearing the inscription, "Whoso pulleth out this sword from this stone is rightwise king, born of all England." Many tried, but not even the strongest men could pull the sword from the stone. Then for a while the legend fell into disknowledge. The boy Arthur grew older, and Merlin came to him and saw in him the greatness to be a wise and just ruler. One day, when Arthur was 15, Merlin brought him before the stone. A crowd was gathered, and to their astonishment, the small, scrawny lad pulled loose the sword. The crowd cheered, and Arthur was crowned King of England. Was Zoomi to pull a sword from a stone, prefiguring King Arthur? How to proceed? The Lord himself would choose those who would be gift bearers to the child, he not yet known to come among us. It must be a worshipper and not a stargazer. Many in Chaldea were astrologers of the first rank, but who was worthy? It was not given to men to judge properly. Thus the ephod, thus the Urim and Thummim, thus the lot, the dice used in every age to advance the will of the Lord. It was conceived by Mers to form a knot of rope, an impossible entanglement, which could break its hold, might be found worthy. The rope was stranded to great dimension, knotted, wetted, and placed in the village square. There it rested many days while Mearns turned about it, wondered, cajoled, slapped their silly heads. It was Zoomi, our little hero, Zoomi, who understood that only the Lord could solve the knot, and so his wisdom must be sought. Then in the night, some days later, in the middle of the night, in the middle of summer and of the genesis of time, appeared a new formation of stars. It could be seen among them points which depicted the turning points of the knot, and more especially the starting place of its unraveling. Yet in the mind and heart of Mers was this: the choice was not to be of strength or intelligence. It was to be of valor, a test of character. Was young Zoomi a proper choice? Let us see in a roundabout way. We all love stories. This is a story, not from today, not from yesterday. It is from long, long ago. In fact, from 5,000 years after the creation of the world. It is the story of two boys, Zoomi and Shaki, and their grandfather, Mers. Mers was a watcher of the stars, one of the wise men, and one of the Magi who followed the star to Bethlehem. Would these boys grow up also to be Magi? We will see, won't we? These three happy Mearns, M-U-R-N-S, lived in Mesopotamia, the land between two rivers. This story is about the day they took a boat trip. It is called the boat trip. What happened that day? Let's see.